Welcome to this deep dive. If you're tuning in, chances are your child is constantly complaining about itchy, burning eyes, and you're probably feeling incredibly frustrated because those usual eye drops just aren't cutting it anymore. Well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're unraveling a genuine modern mystery. Why have children's dry eyes gone from a pretty rare occurrence just a few years ago to a literal daily battle for so many families? We're going to break down exactly what is happening to our kids' eyes and hand you a structured, science-backed roadmap to actually fix it.
So let's dive right into this pressing question. It's heartbreaking, right? Seeing your kid rubbing their eyes, blinking constantly, or complaining of a burning sensation, especially when absolutely nothing you try seems to offer lasting relief. But here's the truth. Dry eyes in kids aren't just some minor temporary irritation. Left unchecked, they can legitimately affect long-term eye health. So we are moving entirely away from random quick fixes today. Instead, I'm going to give you a clear step-by-step framework to fundamentally understand and permanently solve the problem.
All right, here is our exact game plan. 1. The dry eye epidemic. 2. 3 hidden everyday triggers. 3. Level 1 core daily habits. 4. Level 2 targeted interventions. And finally, 5. Level 3 clinical treatments. Let's get right to it.
Starting with Section 1, the dry eye epidemic, from rare to routine.
You know, optometrists used to rarely see dry eyes in kids. It was basically considered an adult problem. But now, it's a daily occurrence. The main culprit? 60%. When we stare at screens, we actually blink about 60% less than normal. Just think about your kid's typical day now. Screen exposure has absolutely exploded, hasn't it? They've got online formats at school, they come home to do homework on a laptop, and then they wind down with YouTube or gaming. Their eyes are working massive overtime, and that dramatic drop in blinking means the tear film on the surface of their eye simply isn't refreshing the way it should.
And without regular blinking to spread a nice fresh layer of moisture, that tear film is left totally exposed. It's literally like leaving a puddle of water under the hot summer sun. It simply evaporates way faster than it can ever be replaced, leaving the eye's surface completely parched.
Moving into Section 2, 3 hidden everyday triggers. What's really causing the burn?
So beyond just the screens, there are everyday triggers hiding in plain sight. Your child might actually be making enough tears, but these 3 factors cause those tears to evaporate way too fast or stop them from spreading evenly. We already know about the exploding screen exposure, but the second trigger is our indoor environments. They are drier than ever. Air conditioning, winter heating, even ceiling fans, they all pull vital moisture right out of the air. It's a huge invisible factor most of us never even consider. And third, inflammation is totally on the rise. Things like poor eyelid hygiene, seasonal allergens, or even certain foods can trigger inflammatory responses that directly downgrade the quality of your kid's tears.
Now here's the part that drives parents absolutely crazy. We call it the supermarket drop trap. You see your child's eyes are dry, so naturally you buy regular eye drops from the grocery store. They help for an hour, but then bam, the burning comes right back. Why? Well, because most standard drops contain preservatives. If you use them more than 3 or 4 times a day, those preservatives actively irritate the surface of the eye. So in a super well-meaning attempt to help, you can accidentally create this vicious cycle that makes the dry eye problem significantly worse.
All right, let's start fixing it. Section 3, Level 1, Core Daily Habits. This is your foundation for mild to moderate cases.
For mild to moderate cases, just tweaking a few daily habits can give you massive improvements in literally a single month. Habit 1 is all about structuring screen time. Notice I didn't say banning screens entirely. Now, you've probably heard of the traditional 20-20-20 rule, right? Look 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes. But let's be real here. That is highly impractical for most families to enforce. Instead, the much better strategy is the natural break approach. Every 30 to 45 minutes of close work, simply encourage your child to look out a window or step outside for a few minutes. This sustainable natural break gives their eyes a genuine chance to blink fully and completely reset that crucial tear film.
Habit 2 is environmental optimization. If your kid studies or games in a room with AC or a ceiling fan, you have to redirect that airflow away from their face. Direct air blasting across the face aggressively speeds up tear evaporation. Also, particularly in the winter when heating completely dries out your home, grab a desktop humidifier. Your goal is to hit roughly 40 to 50% humidity, because honestly, anytime indoor humidity drops below 30%, those dry eye symptoms are going to noticeably flare up. And of course, habit 3 is to upgrade your drops.
I really want to emphasize that habit 3 is the absolute most important rule of level 1. You must use preservative-free eye drops.
Look for those little single-use vials or specialized bottles. A couple of specific brands recommended for kids include Hylo Forte and Katia Norm, mainly because they mimic natural tears and won't cause irritation even if you use them frequently. But here's the real secret to success. Apply them proactively. Don't wait for your child to complain. Use them as a baseline, like morning, after school, dinner time, and bedtime, to prevent flare-ups before they even get a chance to start.
On to Section 4, Level 2, Targeted Interventions. This is for when those habits just aren't enough.
If you've tried Level 1 for a solid month without success, it's time to step up to 3 specific targets. First up, a warm compress. Have your child hold a microwavable heat pack or a heated eye mask over their closed eyes for 10 minutes, morning and night, followed by a super gentle massage along the lash line. Second, omega-3 supplements. Research actually shows a daily dose featuring EPA and DHA, taken for at least 3 months, makes the oily layer of the tears much more fluid. And third, aggressively managing hidden triggers, things like seasonal allergies or eczema, using antihistamine drops or sprays to reduce that inflammatory load on the eyes.
Now you might be wondering, why is a warm compress so incredibly important? Well, it's all because of blocked oil glands. Specifically, these little things called meibomian glands in the eyelids can become clogged. And when they fail to produce their protective oily layer, tears evaporate instantly. The consistent heat from that compress literally melts the clogged oil, allowing those glands to function properly again and seal the moisture onto the eye. It's a real game changer.
Which brings us to Section 5. Level 3, Clinical Treatments, Specialist Care for Severe Cases.
If symptoms are stubbornly persisting even after 4 to 6 weeks of Level 2, don't panic. Professionals have some powerful tools at their disposal. The first is prescription anti-inflammatory eye drops. These target the specific immune response that's causing the tear film instability. Now, they aren't a quick fix, they take several weeks to show full effect, and they might sting a little temporarily. But they can be absolutely life-changing for chronic sufferers. The second option is punctal plugs. And the third is a comprehensive medical evaluation to look for any deeper issues.
I actually want to pause and talk about punctal plugs for a second, because I know the name sounds a bit intimidating, but they are actually extremely quick, totally painless, and completely reversible tiny devices that get inserted into the tear ducts. I love this analogy. It is exactly like putting a stopper in a sink so the water doesn't drain out as fast. It just keeps whatever tears your child is naturally producing on the eye surface for a much longer period of time.
Finally, we absolutely must mention that in rare cases, severe dry eyes are just a symptom of something bigger. Conditions like Sjogren's syndrome or other autoimmune disorders can sometimes cause this. If your child's highly resistant dry eyes are accompanied by things like joint pain, chronic fatigue, or persistent mouth dryness, that is a red flag. You should immediately bring these specific concurrent symptoms to the attention of a doctor for a full medical evaluation. Better safe than sorry, right?
So here is your definitive roadmap summarized. The biggest mistake we see parents making is jumping straight into random supermarket products without a cohesive system. Please don't do that. Give Level 1 core habits 2 weeks to a month. If that doesn't work, spend 4 to 6 weeks on Level 2 targeted interventions. And if you cross into month 2 without resolution, book an appointment with an optometrist who specializes in kids' dry eyes for Level 3. By the way, if you're looking for ongoing support on stuff like vision care and screen time, there are amazing resources out there, like the Healthy Kids community, where parents are sharing their experiences navigating these exact same steps.
We have covered a ton of ground today, moving from the root causes of tear evaporation all the way up to clinical interventions. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Are your child's dry eyes just a temporary irritation you can brush off, or are they a clear signal that it is time to stop relying on quick fixes and start executing this structured action plan today? The power to protect their long-term eye health is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and good luck!